Welcome to my channel. This is where your whole nightmares and funny HOA stories come to life. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our spicy HOA content. Our next letter comes from a neighbor who has been watching this channel for quite some time now. Finally got up enough courage to reach out. Hi there. Been watching for over a year and loving it. Finally worked up enough courage to write. My HOA president tried to sue me about 10 years ago when I put up a fence. He said he was going to destroy me financially. Well, he did, but not financially. He spent thousands in legal fees and he had to go to mediation. I didn't even have to go. I offered to have him over to my house to discuss his concerns. He refused and stuck with his lawyer. My attorney told him he should never have gone after me because I wasn't going to back down. The lawsuit was over a 6-foot-tall board-on-board fence. He wanted a 4-foot-tall fence. My fence was fine according to the HOA rules, but he still sued anyway. In the end, the HOA ended up paying my attorney fees. He also had to pay the HOA's attorney fees. The HOA assessed the members to cover his actions. Now he doesn't even speak to me and the other neighbors. So the only person that got hurt was him and his wallet. I love your videos. Keep them coming. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us. I think it's great. You know, sometimes people just need to be taught a lesson and they need to learn it the hard way. And sometimes that means getting sued and having to pay tens of thousands of dollars in attorney fees. That really does wonders for teaching people not to mess with you, especially when they have no case to begin with. We get a lot of people that contact us that say, "Hey, my HOA is suing me for such and such." And we tell them, you know, if you just ignored them, they probably would have left you alone. But by fighting back, now they're mad and now you've got a lawsuit on your hands. So yes, some people do need to be taught that lesson the hard way. And apparently this HOA president was one of those people. It cost him, but at least he learned his lesson. Now. Our next letter is from a viewer. Hello, my name is Anonymous. I am writing to you today to share my experience with a crazy HOA. My family and I moved into a new construction home in April 2019. We had a fantastic experience working with our builder. They were very professional, answered all of our questions and addressed all of our concerns. Our home was move-in ready. No punch list items, no deferred items, nothing. As first-time homeowners, we were ecstatic. On May 2019, we received a letter stating that the HOA wants us to meet with them to discuss landscaping and the installation of a fence. We were informed that we needed to have the fence installed by June 2019. We contacted the builder and explained the situation. They told us that they did not install fences and that we needed to find an outside contractor. We asked if they could please address this with the HOA since we just closed on the house 2 weeks prior, and they declined. The builder then suggested that we reach out to a local handyman service. We called them, set up an appointment, and waited for them to come out. On the day of the appointment, they came out and looked at the property and told us that they did not do fence installations and that we needed to call a specialty company. By this time, it was mid-May and we had less than 3 weeks to get the fence installed or we would be in violation of the HOA rules. We called several companies to install the fence, but they were all booked up and couldn't get anyone out to us until late June. We called the HOA and explained the situation, and they told us that we needed to get the fence installed by the date that they gave us or we would be fined. At this point, we decided to take matters into our own hands. My husband and I went to the store and bought all the materials and we installed the fence ourselves. We took pictures and sent them to the HOA and we waited for them to respond. A week later, we received a letter stating that the fence was not installed correctly and that we needed to have it fixed by a certain date. We called the HOA and asked what exactly was wrong with the fence and they told us that we needed to hire a licensed contractor to install the fence. We explained that we had done the work ourselves, and they said that we needed to have it redone. We asked if they could please tell us in writing exactly what was wrong with the fence so we can correct it, and they refused. At this point, we stopped communicating with the HOA and we waited for them to take action. On July 2019, we received a letter stating that we were in violation of the HOA rules and that they were going to take us to court. We laughed and we waited. We received a letter stating that we had to pay a fine or you would be taken to court. We paid the fine, but we were still planning on suing them. We contacted a lawyer and sent him all the documents. He looked over everything and told us that we had a really good case against the HOA. He said that the HOA didn't give us enough time to get the fence installed, and that they didn't give us a reasonable time to correct the fence once it was installed. He said that the HOA was clearly picking on us and that we should definitely sue them. We told him that we weren't interested in taking it that far. We just wanted to be able to move forward and have a decent relationship with the HOA. The lawyer told us that if we let it go this time, the HOA will always be able to pick on us. He said that we should sue them and make an example out of them so the HOA will think twice before picking on another homeowner. We ultimately decided to listen to our lawyer and we sued the HOA. During discovery, we found out that the HOA president and the HOA board members were the ones who pushed for us to be fined. We found out that the HOA president's wife works for a fence company in town. We also found out that the HOA board members were trying to get the HOA president to run for mayor. We believe that they were using us as a test to see how aggressive they could be towards the residents. After filing the lawsuit, we started receiving letters from the HOA offering to settle out of court. The first offer was for $3,000. The second offer was for $5,000. The third offer was for $10,000. We counter-offered at $15,000 and they accepted. We took the settlement and we were on our way. All in all, it cost the HOA roughly $25,000 between attorney fees and the settlement. Not only did we win the case, but we also made money. The moral of the story is this: always read your documents, always do your research, and don't let anyone push you around. The documents will always tell you what you need to know. And if you're ever unsure about anything, hire a real estate attorney to look it over. The peace of mind is worth every penny. Thanks for listening. Holy crap, dude. That is insane. Thank you for sharing that story with us. What a bunch of dicks. I would have fought that one too. You know, they shouldn't have picked on you if they didn't want to get sued. I love it though. You know, you took these guys to their graves. You really did number. Well, that's all we have today, folks. I hope you enjoyed these whole lawsuits. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. We're bringing you new content every single day.